The Christmas break is over and the Andros Trophy returns. Round 3 at Isola 2000 in the southern Alps, the Alpes-Maritimes, around a 90-minute drive from Nice and the south coast. Gorgeous weather for the weekend and lots of snow and ice, and everybody is ready to go racing. Let's take a look around this track with Franck Lagorce. You start with this never-ending hairpin across the start-finish line and into a long right-hander. It's more than 270 degrees, so we're now around 180 degrees through, continuing to turn right. It tightens, it tightens, it tightens, and then the track comes left all the way back inside itself. It's like a snail shell when you look at it from above. Traction really important on the exit, short straight. And then another left-hander, picking up speed now, up to 40, 50, 60 kilometers an hour. These things accelerate very quickly with their four-wheel drive. Into the long double right-handers at the top of the track, and then flying off down the hill. Watch the speed build here, up to 85 kilometers an hour, into the long right-hander that ends the lap, and across the line. Well, that's the track. Let's start with day one Super Pole for the top 6 drivers from the qualifying heats. And reigning champion Jean-Baptiste Dubourg has been the fastest so far, ahead of Nico Prost, Nat Berton, series leader Aurélien Panis, with father Olivier in 5th and Yann Erlaché in 6th. So 45, 42, 40, 39, 38, 37 points earned respectively. So here's the starting order then for the single laps. Olivier Panis out first, followed by JB Dubourg, Yann Erlaché and the rest. And the fastest single hot lap will earn an extra 6 points, and the least speedy will take 1 point. All of those go into the hat for the day's totals and into the season total as well. So Olivier Panis has set his time, 46.186 seconds. And Olivier always combative. Jean-Baptiste then heads out for this nighttime Super Pole at Isola 2000. Well, in the heats, he was able to lap consistently below the 46-second margin. So let's see what the Renault Zoe driver can do. 4-time champion, the reigning title holder. He has not won a Super Pole yet this winter. Clock is running. And a great aerial view of this never-ending right-hander that just tightens and tightens and tightens and tightens. Oh, just about got out of there all right. Double left now coming up inside the right-hander, using the maximum ground for the space available. And then around the hairpin, drilling it onto the short straight. Trying to keep the speed and the momentum. The first of the double right-handers at the top of the hill. And then piling on the speed. Over 80 kilometers an hour as they rocket down the hill into the final couple of corners. And the line is in sight. And it's a 45.37. That's very nearly a second clear of Olivier Panis. That's a really good run. He was a quarter second up at the split, 0.8 up at the line. This is the teammate of Jean-Baptiste Dubourg, Nico Prost. Yann Erlaché has already gone with a 45.7 in second place. Behind JB Dubourg, can Nico Prost get in there as well? The momentum here is absolutely crucial. This corner can kill or cure your lap. Errors anywhere don't help. Little too much oversteer at the end, not quite enough speed. Notice how much the side windscreen wipers are really important here for the driver. Spends so much time very sideways in this Isola track. Well, Prost 3800s behind on the split. Let's see if this is going to be good enough for second place, or will he find a little bit more? JB was 2500s up on Olivier Panis. Hits the ice bank, straightens it up, 2500s back at the end of the lap. That's a good run from Nico Prost. It's a Renault Zoe 1-2. So JB Dubourg fastest, Nico Prost second. We've already seen Olivier Panis. Now is the chance for his son Aurélien to head out. Aurélien, the points leader this season. Headed into the Christmas break with the advantage over his rivals. He's had a great season so far. But now that we're into 2020, we're into a really hard, fast run of races week after week after week. So they need to try and keep this alive. And between the season opener in Val Thorens and the second race last time out before Christmas in Andorra, he and Jan Erlaché and Ivar Muller, who runs the Ivar Muller team that Erlaché drives for, they all went to Malaysia. So what a difference in temperature and time zones and everything else for the World Touring Car finale. Well, now they're back. It's ice racing from here into February. And Aurélien Panis looking to keep his points lead alive. 3400s back. Now, will that be enough to take second place? It's going to be quite close to Nico Prost if he can keep the speed up down the hill. Absolutely flying in the Audi. Checkered flag waves as he bounces across the line. 2400s back. That is a whisker ahead of Nico Prost. 2 thousandths of a second. He's in second. Well, that extra point earned might be very valuable later on. After qualifying and Superpole, JB Dubourg pulls back 7 of Aurélien Panis' points, halving the Audi driver's lead. And Dubourg and Prost get a nice 1-2 for DA Racing's Renault Zoes. Nathaniel Berton looking strong as well, in 4th in the points after qualifying, ahead of Jan Erlaché. Cars on the grid, ready for the start of the Elite Super Final here on day 1 at Isola. And our pole sitter, car number 5, Sylvain Poussier. He won both the qualifying heats in his Peugeot. And Manuel Moinel is alongside in the Renault Zoe, car number 7. Row 2, Louis Rosset and Nathan Biel. And on row 3, Jérémy Sailly and Philippe Bonsard. Series leader Stefan Van Tyre had a tough first day in Isola, only made it into the second of the finals. So this is a great opportunity for Sylvain Poussier to pull some big points in. Started the weekend only 12 points adrift of Van Tyre. Van Tyre with 2 race wins to Poussier's 1 so far. So for Sylvain Poussier, vital to get away cleanly from pole position and to keep his nose in front and take this win. Ready to go for our Elite Super Final. Sylvain Poussier, the green car on pole, ahead of Emmanuel Moinel, the blue car, white and green Louis Rosset, Nathan Biel behind. Away we go, good start from the pole man. Sylvain Poussier leads from Emmanuel Moinel in the Renault Zoe. Then Louis Rosset, the green and white Petit Forestier, Nathan Biel, Jérémy Sailly full of Bonsard, that's the top half dozen, not changed. And absolutely critical now for Sylvain Poussier to start to pull away. And he has immediately, hasn't he? Look at that, Manuel Moinel in the Renault Zoe being dropped very quickly. Sylvain Poussier up to the double right-handers. Such a short lap on these tracks to give lots of overtaking opportunity. 3-way battle for second, but Sylvain Poussier is easing away. First of 6 laps, there is the race leader, and the gap is more than 2 seconds. Manuel Moinel in second, Louis Rosset in third, Nathan Biel in 4th place. Second, third and 4th starting to stretch out a little bit. And looks maybe as though the 3rd place car of Louis Rosset is starting to come under pressure from number 11, Nathan Biel. He's closing in behind. Midway point of the race, Sylvain Poussier consolidating his lead. 3.2 seconds ahead of Manuel Moinel. There is Moinel in the Renault. Louis Rosset in third, Nathan Biel not able to make a move on Louis Rosset yet for that final podium spot. It really does look a little bit as if Sylvain Poussier is in a class of his own here. And so far he's got the fastest race lap halfway through. That's worth an additional point as well. Everything goes into the hat at the end of the season, and these single points could be very, very important. Trophy Andros Racing so close in terms of results and points. Poussier pulling away as the battle for second continues. Moinel and Rousset. Rousset now starting to close in a little. As he got a bit more, as he found a bit more speed. He's shaken off Nathan Biel for sure. And there is second and third. The Renault Zoe with the blue highlights and the green and white car of Roussel. Biel just ahead of Jeremy Sahi. And the leader continues to lap quicker and quicker. Another fastest lap for Sylvain Poussier. Dominant lead here. Moinel now worrying a little about Louis Rousset. Rousset with the white and green. He's really piling on the pressure. And leader onto the last lap. Well, Sylvain Poussier needed to get away here and make this race his own. He's certainly done that. He's taken the available points as well for the fastest lap. Not sure anybody else is going to get there. Holding his advantage, 3.3 ahead. Just doing a little bit to preserve his tyres as well. Keeping the speed up, but making sure that he's still got some rubber heading into qualifying tomorrow. Great stuff from Sylvain Poussier. The battle on behind between Emmanuel Moinel and Louis Rousset is not going to bother him. He's won both of the qualifying heats and he's heading to the checkered flag, racing down the hill to victory. Fastest lap also in the bag, and the win is confirmed for Sylvain Poussier. A perfect day one in Isola. Emmanuel Moinel and Louis Rousset complete the podium ahead of Nathan Biel. Jeremy Sahi finishing in 5th place. So Sylvain Poussier, important day, particularly because Stefan von Tyre didn't make it through in his Peugeot, and that absolutely reignites the elite class title fight between Sylvain Poussier and Stefan von Tyre. So dominant performance from Poussier. He has really clicked with the track. He and the team have got the setup spot on. Fastest in both the qualifying heats. Fastest in the race with the extra point for race lap, and just a runaway at the front and hid. So confirmation then of the points for the day. The Peugeot of Sylvain Poussier 62 points and Stefan von Tyre 47 points. So Sylvain Poussier came here 12 points adrift, now moves into a slender 3-point lead overnight ahead of Stefan von Tyre. That's how much the fortunes can change in a single day in the Trophy Andros. Behind the leaders, Jeremy Sahi holds on to third. Nat Biel now only 11 points behind him, and Emmanuel Moinel closes both on Biel and on Sahi. Cars on the grid for the Super Final Elite Pro. Day one here, round 3 of the Trophy Andros in Isola 2000. And it's an all-DA Racing Renault Zoe front row. JB de Bourg ahead of Nico Prost, the multiple champion ahead of his teammate. Aurélien Panis, who came here with the points lead, will start third with Nat Berton alongside him. And Yann Erlaché and Olivier Panis complete the super final for day one here on row 3 of the grid. So is this the time that 4-time champion Jean-Baptiste de Bourg finally gets his first win of the season? So far he's taken every step of the podium except for the top step, second in Val Thorens, third in Andorra. And you see that his teammate Nico Prost lining up second on the grid, just angled a little over to his left to try and close the door on Aurélien Panis and preserve that Renault 1-2. Well, we'll see how that works out for him. Definitely looking to try and get in behind the leader. Of course, if JB doesn't get a great start, then both Renaults could end up in a lot of trouble here. Well, will they be the dominant force in this super final that they were in qualifying? Well, by now, normally the revs would be rising, but with the electric motors of these four-wheel drive, four-wheel steer Trophy Andros cars, no need for that. The moment you press the throttle, you get all the power. We are ready to go. 5-second countdown has begun. Watch JB Dubourg and Nico Prost. Not the fastest start for Dubourg or Prost around the outside. Aurélien Panis trying to seize the momentum. Dubourg leads from Prost. Panis on the inside. But it's 3 wide. Prost, Panis is the meat in the sandwich. And Nat Berton, the green and white, goes through. Panis goes through as well. JB Dubourg leads, but Prost gets shuffled down to 5th position. Jan Erlaché also got by him. There is Erlaché, car number 11. So JB Dubourg, the leader. Nat Berton, great start from Nat Berton into 2nd. Aurélien Panis in 3rd, car number 3. Jan Erlaché somewhere in there in all that ice cloud. He's in 4th place. Nico Prost down to 5th. Well, he protected his teammate, but he did not manage to protect a Renault Zoe 1-2. Jean-Baptiste Dubourg out front by 1.2 seconds from Nathaniel Berton. Berton having to fight his way through. Now then, although Dubourg was fastest in qualifying, will that make him fastest in the race? Berton, Aurélien Panis, Jan Erlaché, Nico Prost and Olivier Panis right out to the tail of the field. So it looks like Olivier is having some problems. Not so much for Aurélien, although he's gone from 3rd on the grid to 3rd in the race. Nat Berton from 4th up to 2nd. Took advantage here at the opening lap when he was on the inside. The other 2 got pushed out wide by Berton coming through and their own battle. And Nat Berton, the gap opened up very nicely for him. Lap 2 and Jean-Baptiste Dubourg is only a 2nd in front. So the gap has come down. Berton a little quicker there. Aurélien is with them. Erlaché and Prost. Prost 5.5 seconds back. Looks as though there might have been a bit of deranged suspension on his car. He hasn't got the pace of his rivals. And the battle for 2nd now looks as though it is going to be between Berton and Aurélien Panis. There they are, because they are dropping back a little from JB Dubourg. Jean-Baptiste creeping away. There's Berton, 2.5 seconds back. So he's opened up a 2.5 this lap. And that may well end up giving him the point for fastest lap of the race. Berton, the green and white in 2nd. Aurélien Panis, blue and white in the Audi. So close. Trying to get along the inside there. Didn't have enough traction onto the straight. And again, he's going to have to try and do something out of the double right-handers down the hill probably. But Berton just doing enough, keeping that momentum up to keep himself out of harm's reach. JB Dubourg on lap 5 with a comfortable lead from Nat Berton and Aurélien Panis. Last lap, looks as though Dubourg is heading to his first win of the season. 2.27 ahead now. And Aurélien 0.7 of a second behind Nat Berton. Berton keeping the speed up superbly. Tantalisingly close. Down the hill they come. Checkered flag awaits. First win of the season for Jean-Baptiste Dubourg with the fastest lap. Nat Berton 2nd, Aurélien Panis 3rd, 4th Jan Erlaché. And there's been a change at the back. Looks as though Olivier Panis got ahead of Nico Prost on the last lap. They are taking a long time to get to the line, but it is victory for JB Dubourg and maximum points plus the fastest lap. Aurélien Panis taking points for 3rd, is tied with Nat Berton, who got points for 2nd. They were just a point apart in qualifying. Nico Prost 4th in the day's points, ahead of Erlaché and Olivier Panis. So 4 podium results from 4 races for Aurélien Panis, but the gap now down to just 4 points, with JB Dubourg coming up fast on the rails. Look how close it is behind. Erlaché and Prost are tied, 2 points ahead of Olivier Panis. First win of the season for JB Dubourg, and his first ever electric win as well, having driven internal combustion engine cars up until the end of last season. And he will be delighted. So too the DA Racing team. They've been close but no cigar. Now they have their first win. Day one elite podium, Sylvain Poussier with Emmanuel Moinel and Louis Rousset joining him on the podium. And our elite pros, JB Dubourg looking delighted, Aurélien Panis on the left, still with the points lead, and Matt Berton. High in the Alpes-Maritimes, just above the Mediterranean, stunning conditions in Isola. Ready for our two-wheeled action from the AMV Cup Super Final. Germain Vincenot on pole position, number 14 from Vivien Gonnet, Maxime Emery and Sylvain Dabert, but the yellow jersey marking out the points leader Sylvain Dabert immediately hits the front, got the whole shot, and into the first left-hander he will be comfortably clear. Massive sort out behind. Didn't look like a good start for Vivien Gonnet, number 4, or for Maxime Emery, number 1, the reigning champion. In fact, they have both dropped back. There's Gonnet, both dropped back into, well, it's a snarling pack of everybody. Sylvain Dabert leading, and looks as though number 17, Julien Colombon, who started on row 2 in 5th place, is coming through. Number 5, Franck Broncy was up at the start there as well. He started in 8th place. Vivien Gonnet, number 4, trying to fight his way back at the end of the first lap. He's up to 4th place. Maxime Emery dropping a long way down. A faller, that's Randy Persson. And more trouble at the hairpin. Somebody's got stuck. 51 there, that's Randy Depunier, the ex-MotoGP and endurance racer. 6th on his Husky, having started in 10th place on the grid. Also does commentary here in the Trophy Andros highlights. Does MotoGP commentary as well for French television, as well as racing in the Endurance World Championship. So he was in Malaysia between the races in Val Thorens and Andorra as well. Now firmly up in the midfield pack. Sylvain Dabert is leading. The places behind him are changing with every single corner. And Depunier having a really good run. Nice tight line from him. Can he find the traction on the inside? Yes, he does. Looks like he is up to 3rd place. Julien Colombon also in the midst of that. There is Sylvain Dabert though. Number 53, Gouget, started in 16th place. Julien Colombon is right behind him in 3rd position. And it looks as though Randy Depunier has just dropped out of this battle for the podium. Vivien Gonnet, number 4, right behind. Fantastic action from these two-wheeled ice racers. Gonnet from the back, number 4 machine, trying to find a little bit of extra traction. Julien Colombon trying to come around for 2nd place. Sylvain Dabert, though, out front, lapping very quickly as well. So Sylvain Dabert leading, and looks like Julien Colombon has got through. He has. And down the inside goes number 4 as well, Vivien Gonnet. Yes, finds, makes the room. Got his nose inside and then powered off the corner. So Julien Colombon up to 2nd, Vivien Gonnet in 3rd place. And number 53, Antoine Gouget in 4th position. Although it looks like the transponder may not be working. He's definitely not 4 seconds behind these guys, he's not being shown. Randy Depunier in 6th place then. He's in that midfield battle with Germain Vincenot. Germain Vincenot ahead of Randy Depunier. Sylvain Dabert clear out front. Here's the battle for 2nd. Julien Colombon with the yellow highlights still ahead of Vivien Gonnet. There's Antoine Gouget, Germain Vincenot, Randy Depunier. There's Depunier with the white leathers. Just keeping himself out of harm's reach. Sylvain Dabert making it look very easy though, the 8-time champion in a class of his own. Maxime Emery not in the frame here. There's Randy Depunier, just behind Enduro Grand Prix star Antoine Mayo. Dabert romping away with this. Well, we've seen races given away, Andorra particularly, so nothing is guaranteed until the checkered flag. After all, racing a motorcycle on ice, even with studded tyres, is fraught with disaster. You can see how deep the ruts are that the cars have left, and they really very much affect the motorcycle riders. Get the front wheel into a rut and it will tramline its own path around the corner, no matter what the rider wants. Similarly with the back, if you need it to step out and it's stuck in a rut, it may not do so. So you don't necessarily have it all your own way. And there's Dupunier, still battling inside the top half dozen. And Dupunier competing here really for the first full season. So he's had the odd appearance before, very different from what he's used to. Mind you, so was the FIM Endurance World Championship race in Malaysia. In trouble for one of our front runners, slowing down there. There's Maxime Emery. Randy Dupunier closing in on him. The race in Malaysia was used to be 8 hours, came down to under 4 because of rain, red flags, darkness, all sorts of problems, huge amount of weather. And Maxime Emery really struggling out front. Sylvain Dabert though. And he is starting to close now on the back markers. So there's an additional potential hazard if he gets to them before the end of this 10-lap race. He'll have to worry about where to pass them. He may not be entirely aware that he's coming. You can see them there at the hairpin, pack of them just in front. So lots of work still to do for Sylvain Dabert, not the least of which is fighting the bike around this deeply rutted track. This is very different from racing on shale or sand, and utterly different from ice speedway here. The cars really affect the motorcycle riders by carving up the track so much. By the time you get towards the end of the day, the bike riders are just battling their way through the track as much as anything else. Final lap for Sylvain Dabert, front runner in the race, with back markers right in front of him. Doesn't have to hurry here. He's a long way clear. He may not know how much he is clear. And that's what happened in Andorra. The leader got caught by surprise and jumped at the hairpin. Dabert can't afford to take any risks here. Doesn't want to get trapped in an inconvenient position and go down and give this win away. And you see how tight the battle is in front. Dabert trying to thread his way through. And the two back markers, in fact these three back markers, focusing on each other, not necessarily seeing him coming. Checker flag is out there in time. Sylvain Dabert claims victory. Vivian Gonnet in second, Julien Colombon third at the line, then Germain Vincenot in fourth place. But a big win for Sylvain Dabert. In the end, Vivian Gonnet was close, wasn't he? One more lap, could have been a change. So Sylvain Dabert with victory in the super final, but thanks to his qualifying heats wins, Vivian Gonnet is the day's points winner, ahead of Germain Vincenot. And Sylvain Dabert tied with Vincenot on 49 points. So the overall standings see Sylvain Dabert still ahead, the lead now 10 over Gonnet, with Vincenot 27 behind, but closing that gap down. 34 points back, the reigning champion Maxime Emery needs a big second half of the season if he's to challenge for the title, and that is looking tough right now. Day 2 in Isola 2000, round 3 of the Andros e-Trophy for 2019-2020, and back with the action. So we'll start with Superpole for our Elite Pro class. And a few different names today: Franck Lagorce, Quentin Giordano and Christophe Ferrier, the local driver who was fastest in the qualifying heats. None of them made it through into Superpole on day 1. Well, Frank Lagorce turning his season around with his pace here. So he will need to produce big points, and he is now going to try and go for the win today. His season got off to a very bad start in Val Thorens. His teammate destroyed their car in free practice, and neither of them were able to race. So Frank's focus now will be on trying to take race wins and day victories, because the title is really out of his reach. However, the one advantage he has here is he's carrying no success ballast. Well, second fastest in the qualifying heats for Frank Lagorce. Gets himself up to speed in the Andros Sport. Let's see if he can produce a super pole winning run here. Flings the car around the long first right hand, never-ending hairpin. Tightens, tightens, tightens. Now straight steering straight off the corner and flicking it the other way into the long left-hander. Again, trying to get it all straight nice and early on the power here. Out to the hairpin. Short straighter weights under the Yokohama Bridge. Little glitch in the timing system. Not sure it's taken him 9,900 hours. Through the double right-handers and then piling on the speed down the hill to the line. And let's see what he can produce. Again, using the full width of the road as he comes to the checkered flag. Frank Lagorce, that was a fast-looking lap. And it's been given as a 46.009. Well, Jean-Baptiste Bourg, the Super Pole winner and the Day 1 winner yesterday, not in Super Pole. Next up, though, Christophe Ferrier. Christophe Ferrier raced in the Electric Trophy in the last few seasons. Two-wheel drive, two-wheel steer, and 125 horsepower equivalent. Now, as he moves up into the Elite Pro class, still with electric motivation, but with the equivalent of 350 horsepower, so the kilowatt hours in the car have doubled. Ferrier didn't go in the second of the qualifying heats to save tyres, with a shot to get through into the super final and maybe a chance to win a final outright. That seems like a good gamble. And the local hero, very quick in the first qualifying run. And at the split, 87 hundredths behind. This is a very good run from Christophe Ferrier. Like JB de Bourg getting used to electric power full stop, Ferrier getting used to the extra power, the way these four-wheel steer cars handle compared to last year's electric machine. Across the line, half a second clear. That is fantastic. What a run from Christophe Ferrier. Well, with Yann Erlechet and Giordano also not able to match that pace. That is a big result for Christophe Ferrier. Frank Lagorce in second place. The third fastest man behind Ferrier and Lagorce in the qualifying heats was Olivier Panis. Ended up at the tail of the super final on day 1 here. Let's see if the old man's eyes are a little better in the daylight. Olivier Panis last year did 4 of the rounds. This year looking to compete in the entire season and trying to challenge for the title. Struggling to produce the pace that his young son Aurélien is in the Audi, though, in this Petit Forestier AS01. Let's see what he's got. Can he get himself into the top 3? 81 hundredths of a second back. This is going to be a real challenge. Olivier Panis or Frank Lagorce going to be second. Needs to keep the speed on, keep it neat and tidy at the line. How close? Olivier Panis in third place by half a tenth of a second. That is close. Aurélien Panis second, Olivier Panis in third. Fantastic stuff. So again, Aurélien Panis just a fraction ahead of his dad, Olivier. But it is Christophe Ferrier with the fastest lap in Isola, his home track. and he has most points for the day as well so far. Franck Lagorce second, Olivier and Aurélien Panis tied exactly on 44 points ahead of Yann Erlaché and Quentin Giordano. So JB de Bourg outside the top 6. Day 2 super final for the elite class. Now these are the same vehicles as we'll see in the elite pro class, but they're driven by the teammates. So Olivier Panis' teammate Louis Rousset starts on pole position. Jeremy Sahi will be alongside him. Louis Rousset finishing on the podium in day 1, so he'll be looking for another big result. Manuel Moinel also on the podium in day 1. He finished in second in the standings in the Renault Zoe, and alongside him Jérôme Lopez. Row 3 of the grid is our new points leader, the man who won day 1 here, Sylvain Poussier. As a result of that success, he's carrying 60 kilos of success ballast, and beside him on the grid, Stefan von Tyer's Audi. That is the man who was the points leader coming in here. So we are ready to race in the elite class super final. And again, for poleman Louis Rousset, alongside him, the red car of Jeremy Sahi. And away we go. And for some reason, the poleman does not move. Now, you can't stall an electric motor. Jeremy Sahi, though, gets away very quickly. Manuel Moinel in second. Louis Rousset, I think, in third place. And there is Louis Rousset struggling with the number 4 machine. So Jeremy Sahi, the leader. Number 7, Manuel Moinel. He was second on day 1. Sylvain Poussier ran away in day 1. Sylvain Poussier and Stefan von Tyer, though, on the back row of the grid here. And Poussier is going to struggle with all that extra success ballast in the car. So Jeremy Sahi leading from Manuel Moinel. Number 4, Louis Rousset in third. Jérôme Lopez in fourth. Sylvain Poussier and Stefan von Tyer behind. Midway mark, Sahi easing away. Moinel and Rousset continue to battle. This is really a carbon copy of day 1. Moinel in second, Rousset pushing with all he's got, trying to look inside of the hairpin. Not quite enough there. This is really good stuff, though. It is allowing Jeremy Sahi to creep away at the front of the field. Midway through, Sahi looks like this should be his first win of the season. Louis Rousset piling the pressure on the Renault driver, Manuel Moinel for second. Trying to find a way through. I don't think he's going to be able to get up the inside unless he can force an error from Moinel. There's Jeremy Sahi. He can see a little of where he's going. Moinel in second, a little less. Moinel and Rousset, lap 5 of 6. The battle for second rages on. 2.4 seconds behind Jeremy Sahi. And luckily he's got good visibility. He's going to need it to make sure he makes no mistakes. Rousset still pushing on every corner. Moinel rock solid in defence. And he takes the tiniest mistake, trying to squeeze a little more speed into one of these hairpins to drift out wide. And Moinel will give away second place. So he's got to be super cautious here. Not too slow, but definitely not too fast. Rocketing down the hill. Leader across the line. Final lap. 2.4 seconds clear of the battle for second. And Moinel's Renault still just in front of Louis Rousset. Rousset has tried everything. Looks as though Moinel is well aware of where the passing places are and has managed to keep it all neat and tidy. Rousset actually dropping back a fraction. Manuel Moinel creeping away from him in second place. Has Rousset got a problem? Yes, he has. He's dropping away fast. Louis Rousset will do well to hang on to third place, but out front, Jeremy Sahi Jeremy Sahi, the winner of the super final from Emmanuel Moinel, and Louis Rousset clings on in third place. Lost a lot of speed there. Sylvain Poussier taking fourth. Jerome Lopez in fifth, which will lead Stefan Vontaille in sixth position. And after day two, a first ever day victory for Louis Rousset, with the tie with Jeremy Sahi. Manuel Moinel in third, ahead of Poussier, Lopez and Vontaille. Nathan Biel not getting through. Clementine Lost not getting through either into the super final. So Sylvain Poussier with the points lead, 6 ahead of a tie now between Stefan Vontaille, who came to Isola with the lead, and Jeremy Sahi, who rockets up to match him. Emmanuel Moinel 1 point ahead of Louis Rousset. Nat Biel not far behind. All good, close stuff. Day two super final for our elite pro class, and Christophe Ferrier on pole position, the multiple electric champion, ahead of Franck Lagorce in the green machine. Olivier and Aurélien Panis on row 2, Yann Erlechet and Quentin Giordano on row 3. So let's see if Christophe Ferrier can claim his first ever elite pro final win. Franck Lagorce alongside on the front row, tucks in immediately ahead of Olivier Panis. Aurélien looking to try and go the long way around the outside. Aurélien Panis didn't get good traction. He's got Yann Erlechet inside him. Erlechet with a tighter inside line. The dark blue car goes through, and he's challenging Olivier Panis as well. Franck Lagorce in second. Yann Erlechet comes out in third. Olivier Panis in fourth, green and white. And Aurélien Panis down to sixth position briefly there. Shuffles his way back in front of Quentin Giordano. Yes, he does. In the car that Jeremy Sahi won the elite final with. And out front and in the snowbank. Mistake from Christophe Ferrier. Just got away with that though. Franck Lagorce was not close enough. Ferrier can't afford to do that too much. He drifted out very wide there. Slowed himself down. And he'll be cursing that. Lagorce in second. Erlechet third, number 11, the dark blue car. Fourth place, Opa, Olivier Panis ahead of Apa, Aurélien Panis. Oh, and Olivier in very deep with Yann Erlechet, unsettles the Alsatian driver. Can't get through though, I don't think. No, Erlechet's number 11 machine just in front. Olivier Panis again makes contact. Olivier has got his sleeves rolled up again. He loves close racing. Christophe Ferrier still out front and still being chased by Franck Lagorce. It might be that these two break away if Erlechet and Olivier Panis, and now Aurélien Panis, who's right with them, really set to. Christophe Ferrier leading then. Still loads of ice here compared to Andorra, but they are starting to get through. You can see sparks as the studs dig into the tarmac underneath. Third place still Yann Erlechet, the dark blue car, and Olivier Panis almost with him at the hairpin, and Aurélien alongside Dad there, couldn't get an overlap. Third, fourth, fifth all together. Ferrier leads Lagorce, that's the 1-2. Could all go quite badly wrong in the battle for third. Such tough fighters. And again, Ferrier deep into the snowbank, and this is a chance for Lagorce. He's alongside him, and Ferrier's off. Lagorce goes through, and Lagorce is in the wall. Franck Lagorce hits the snowbank hard. Who comes out in front? Lagorce does still. And Christophe Ferrier on the inside pushes him wide, and Lagorce crash. He is rammed into the wall. Ferrier, who's leading? Where's Ferrier gone? It is Yann Erlechet who leads from Olivier Panis and Aurélien Panis. So Ferrier's mistake allowed Lagorce to get alongside, but Lagorce made the mistake of allowing Ferrier to get alongside him into turn one, and it looks as though they're both stacked it in the barriers. Oh my goodness me, look at Franck Lagorce's car. Well, so Yann Erlechet leads. Circuit commentator understandably going absolutely mental, and there is Christophe Ferrier and what's left of his car. So Yann Erlechet heading perhaps to his first win. Yellow flags are out in turn one. Well, it's not a passing place really anyway, but you have to have a tight line now. Olivier Panis second, Aurélien Panis third with the blue highlights on the Audi. Quentin Giordano is the only man left moving. Yann Erlichet leads. Olivier Panis looking for second. And there is Christophe Ferrier, forlorn sight of his car at the side of the track. All battle between the Panises. Aurélien got by. Aurélien threw into second. Drove around Dad Olivier. Fantastic stuff from Aurélien Panis. So the young pair of touring car races, Yann Erlichet and Aurélien Panis, are now running 1-2. Olivier Panis, the former Grand Prix driver and race winner, is in third place. Oh, and Olivier Panis getting it all wrong there, and I think he spun. Tight line, caught him out. He has. Olivier Panis facing the wrong way on the last lap, drops to fourth. Can't believe it. Looks like something's gone wrong with the car. Battle for victory though, Yann Erlichet and Aurélien Panis. Now, this might actually end up going to Quentin Giordano if these two make contact like the leaders did before. Yann Erlichet just ahead, the double right-handers. Aurélien Panis, surely he's not going to get by now. Checkered flag awaits. It's going to be victory for Yann Erlichet. He is first at the line, Aurélien Panis behind him. In fact, they're so excited they have not put out the checkered flag, but that is the end of it. Third place for Quentin Giordano. Aurélien Panis in second. Olivier Panis' car stranded forlornly in the track, as was Franck Lagorce's and Christophe Ferrier's. Well now, wow, that was the most dramatic race of the season so far. Yann Erlichet coming out on top. But top points for the day, Christophe Ferrier, the day's winner for the first time in the Elite Pro class, from Aurélien and Olivier Panis, with Franck Lagorce tying with Olivier. Yann Erlichet in fifth ahead of Quentin Giordano. So Aurélien Panis was second and the fastest lap, getting the same amount of points out of the super final. And he has the lead, 17 points now over JB Debourg. Yann Erlichet and Olivier Panis tied in the overall standings in third, ahead of Nico Prost and Nathaniel Berton. So it's now starting to look a little bit like a four-horse race for the title, but don't count Prost out. There is still an awful lot of racing to go in the season. There's our podium. Christophe Ferrier on the top step, ahead of Aurélien Panis on the left and Olivier on the right. The victor for day two here in Isola 2000. And they'll all be back in action next weekend in Serre Chevalier.